All right, welcome to Wednesday Night Magic. I'm Skybills, and with me is the awesome Roguelink. Roguelink, how are you doing this week?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing fantastic. How are you today, Sky?
I am thrilled that Rampaging Ferocidon has been unbanned, and not only has it been unbanned in Best of 3, in parentheses, it will actually be used during Fandom Legends tomorrow, I was told by Fandom Legends and also by my friend Amazonian, so super stoked to see what kind of role Rampaging Ferocidon will play in this Best of 3 format, and how that might complicate Scapeshift. What do you think about the whole unbanning, Roguelink?
It's certainly a surprise. Like, I didn't see it coming from a mile away. And it's weird, because it's usually the unbannings happen at rotation. So the fact that it's like a slightly early... I don't know, it's real weird.
I think the ideal time, if they would have unbanned Ferocidon in a timely manner, would have been either around War of the Spark time or even M20 time. I will agree that it's rather odd that they're doing that with a month left, but I don't know if Wizards foresaw Scapeshift becoming a legitimate threat. And due to this, I do believe that Wizards has made the decision to unban Ferocidon, and you may ask why. Well, part of the reason is Teferi can still bounce Ferocidon and the Scapeshift combo can still go off. So there's really no reason at this point to not unban Scapeshift to see what happens, especially with the rise of Jund Dinosaurs for its brief, lovely period as well.
Right. And it does kind of make sense that it would be still banned in Best of 1, because having a card that literally just hoses your entire win strategy without having a way to play around it, like with a sideboard, is still pretty, it's a pretty bad beat.
Super has a good point in chat as well. Can we sell Ixalan block one more time? And although Arena does remind the person who's buying anything that's about to rotate, hey, you won't be able to use this soon, to have a very competitive deck in Standard right now, it does involve using a lot of M19 Dominaria in Ixalan right now, and that is shocking considering. So that makes you wonder, in Ravnica Allegiance and Guilds of Ravnica, is the power level of those two sets down considering what has happened with War of the Spark and M20?
It's hard to say. I think they're still very powerful sets. But the thing with the Ixalan blocks is they were tribal sets. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a lot of really, really strong synergies that are going to be really tough to beat. So if you have anything that even remotely taps into one of those tribes or one of those synergies, you're going to have the advantage of this breadth of tribal cards, plus just the best of the newer stuff. For instance, like Vampires. Vampires is going absolutely nuts right now because it has all of the Ixalan vampires, plus these 2 or 3 really, really good cards that just came out, like Sorin, like the Knight of the Ebon Blade, just tons of good stuff.
So here's my question then. With dinosaurs and vampires rotating out due to Ixalan block, why would Wizards create such powerful dinosaurs and vampires, especially considering Sorin, probably the arguably most powerful mythic in the M20 set? Why would you have that deck rotate out within months of Sorin's release? And that makes you wonder, after the Throne block, are there plans to bring back vampires and or dinosaurs? Sometimes I like to look again at the core set and see if there's any trends, or is Wizards merely just doing this to, as Chad had pointed out, sell Ixalan block again? It's a very interesting point to consider, and where's Wizards going with this? I did hear rumors floating around that Throne, which is the next set, revolved around Tribal. How, you may ask? Icon of Ancestry came out. You don't release a powerful artifact such as Icon of Ancestry without a plan. We know fairies are coming out right now. But specifically to vampires and dinosaurs, Roguelink, what is Wizards thinking right now? Was this really just a ploy to sell more Ixalan stuff?
I don't think it's a ploy to sell more Ixalan stuff, but it does make sense that they've got some they're setting up for a little bit of tribal. And the best part is the ancestor artifact that you mentioned is the best kind of tribal because it's non-spoiler tribal. So it's not like they printed +1/+1 to all fairies or +1/+1 to all vampires. They let you choose the tribe, which means it could be anything. It could even be really, really widespread or have more than like 2 or 3 different tribes. Just a dashing of a bunch of different tribes. Instead of like 3 super solid refined tribes. But it's really hard to say. Wizards has quite a lot of variety.
I have a couple of theories as well. So we saw the Ambusher come out, the wolf, and we've seen this used a lot in Simic Flash. However, I don't think that is the intended use of that wolf. I firmly believe, especially with the spoilers of Rowan, kind of had that little Red Riding Hood motif, if wolves are going to come back as one of those tribal enemies in addition to the fairies that are coming out. So wolf tribal is certainly a thing. Mono Red needs a tribe of some kind. We're losing all of these wizards. We're losing Wizards Lightning Strike.
Gobos.
It could be goblins, but how does that fit into fairy tales? That's the problem. This loose fairy tale motif has been driving me crazy lately because I can't, wildly theorize what's going on here.
Yeah, I think goblins are coming back in a big way. There's a lot of setup for goblins in M20. There's a lot of setup.
Also, there's Krenko too. Krenko's
back. I love Krenko. Krenko's so good. Like
Krenko. It does to Shock though, and Shock did get reprinted in M20, by the way.
This is true. But have you ever infuriated a Krenko pre-combat and get 6 dudes out of it?
Oh my goodness, no,
it's real good. Let me tell you.
You know what would be funny, Rogue Link? Now picture this. Goblin Chain Whirler gets a reprint.
Honestly, Goblin Chain Whirler is the thing holding goblins back.
You think so? How so?
Because it means Mono Red beats goblins every time.
Yeah, that's true. Goblin Chain Whirler, I don't think this is the last we've seen of it in Standard, but I don't know if they'll reprint it so soon.
Oh, I don't think they'll reprint it immediately, but I do think once Chain Whirler rotates, we're going to see a surge of
tokens,
of Ravnica token decks pop out, like the 1/1 soldiers, things like that.
I am more interested, and I was talking to a lot of people about this lately. Do you believe that the rotation of check lands will complicate decks such as Esper? Something to think about. But here we go. We have Clifford versus Friday Witch. Let's talk about some of the cards that we see here within these 2 matches. Now, Clifford may have been previewing the deck he was about to play. It looked like some... Oh, see, Rogue Link, this is Clifford communicating to you, saying, I understand. Because I know you like these colors a lot, and so do I.
So speaking of Ravnica soldier decks.
Oh, there you go.
I'm pretty sure I brewed up something similar here.
Oh, Clifford taking a 1-lander, and understandably so.
So he has the 1-drop. He has a couple 2-drops. He I think he's gonna end up playing a 2-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
But considering his 2-drops, that might not be too bad. And Friday Witch, new to the Wednesday Night Magic scene.
Mm-hmm.
Really looking forward to what they're playing. They seem to be on some sort of Golgari plan.
So Clifford finds the 2nd land. Raise the Alarm cannot be played on Friday's turn.
I forget, is Raise the Alarm an instant? Yeah, it is.
It is. A lot of people forget, but yes, Raise the Alarm is an instant, and I have been punished tenfold because of it. Great card. Allegiance Landing! Well, isn't that convenient, Rogue?
There we go. And then swing in for 3 with 3, right? Yeah, there we go. Let's go, Clifford!
So Friday's probably thinking, is this mono white? Because I know that would be going through my mind right now, and I totally would understand. Friday, though, hitting the colors, having a good land spread so far, Probably gonna go with looking like Ravenous Chupacabra here. Great card, by the way. Another beloved Ixalan block card that's going to rotate.
Yeah, Ravenous Chupacabra was definitely doing some work in earlier formats, especially if you have like a Golgari graveyard strategy or something like that, and you're able to get it out over and over and over again.
Yeah,
Clifford
Friday
really needing a forest here.
Friday though does love Golgari. I remember hearing that, and I can't say I blame Friday for doing this. Great jobs here. Here we go. We have a Jade Light Ranger. Now you can't help but wonder if this would be a lovely deck to have Command the Dreadhorde in. Look at all these creatures and all of this value.
Well, it's probably going to have the Explore package, so it wouldn't surprise me if Command the Dreadhorde was in here. So far, it's looking like some sort of Golgari mid-range.
Have you seen the Explore package around the ladder lately? Because I have not. You know, it seemed like Dreadhorde decks were a thing, and then suddenly they vanished.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many, but they're also pretty complicated to pilot, so I wouldn't be surprised if people are preferring the Esper control decks instead, since they have pretty high success. Throwing the Witness under the bus, getting some lifelink, which is going to be nice. Hopefully Clifford can get that forest so he can start pumping up all these dudes.
All right, Clifford with another Legion's Landing. This is a rather odd situation for Clifford to be in. However, Clifford may be able to create a token this turn. Yep. Nope, still nope, because he had to pay the 1 to do that. That's a shame. Friday
Yeah,
here
not
is
quite.
looking like the field's just going to be overrun with creatures at this point, because that's what Golgari does. Golgari also goes wide.
Yeah, especially the current standard Golgari, they go wide with value, you know? Something enters the battlefield and something happens and it affects the board in a big way. You know, you get some counters, you get some lands with the Explore package, you just kill a thing with the Chupacabra.
Massacre Girl! Look at this move
yeah.
from Friday. That is an excellent move. Very, very, very good play here on Friday's part.
Clifford's going to be in big trouble here soon. Oh, hey, there's that forest.
Oh yeah, there it is now, you know?
Now, fortunately or unfortunately, the Massacre Girl definitely would have still put a lot of work in, even if...
Oh, absolutely.
Well, actually, maybe not, because all of Clifford's things would have been 2/2s. And I don't think Friday had any 1/1s on... No, Friday did have a 1/1 on their side, so Clifford was screwed either way.
Yeah, Friday had that play, hook, line, and sinker, no matter what. That's why it was such a pivotal play here in this first match.
Yeah, playing Massacre Girl into your own 1/1 is always real nice.
So this is a tough move here. You do have the Saproling migration. But
And
you have to remember...
not quite enough mana for the Discordant to pump everything and get a few more bodies on the battlefield.
Yeah, Shifting Ceratops can also have trample. So that may be the decider right there at the end of this match. What Clifford really needed there, if he wanted to survive, was he needed another land to play Trostani, but even then, the odds of survival would be pretty narrow.
Getting some more bodies onto the battlefield, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah,
Friday's swinging in with some pretty big creatures. Clifford, forgetting about the menace.
Yeah, Clifford will survive, but only by... I want to say 2 here after the lifelink. Yeah. And there goes Knight of the Ebon Legion. Another great card here. Gets the +1/+1 counter.
Come on, do it, Clifford. Do it. There we go.
Hey! I always consider that good sportsmanship because it enables both players to laugh there. And I'm sure that's Clifford's feelings about the way the land base was for him in round 1 there.
So yeah, looking at Clifford's sideboard as well, this is definitely a token strategy with the Divine Visitation.
Why isn't Divine
For the long
Visitation
game.
in the main board? I feel like that should be at least a one of in the main board for something as spicy as this brew.
Yeah, I think one of would make sense for this kind of deck. I definitely think it's better in the long game because you're more likely to hit that 5 and get a lot of good use out of it.
There's also a very underrated Planeswalker in Clifford's deck. Ajani. This specific Ajani, I always thought it was very powerful. Most of the Planeswalkers from War of the Spark, I feel like are cut above the rest in terms of power because of those passives. Ajani's in Clifford's deck, I believe, gives everything Vigilance.
Yep, gives everything Vigilance, and its pump gives all of your creatures a +1/+1 counter.
Yep, and if that's not enough, the +1 is gain 3 life. So it's everything you would ever want in those colors as an Ajani.
Clifford with a much more consistent starting hand here. Definitely has a lot of options for turn 2, and is going to have a Conclave Tribunal on turn 3 if he needs it.
There is one card, I don't think I can correct me. This is the case, Rogue Link.
Sorry, what was that?
I do believe that the white X drop should be in here. It's the 2/2 soldiers. Finale of something glory? Yeah, that's
Oh yes, the finale of I think it's Finale of Glory or Finale of Victory, something like that. The white one, yeah. Yeah, that could be really interesting here.
I could see you doing something crazy. Playing March and Finale of Glory in the same deck sounds insane. And you know what you would need with that then? You would want Nissa Who Shakes the World to go with both of those.
Yeah, that's certainly crazy. I feel like I only want one massive payoff X spell though. And I don't know, it's hard to say. The March of the Multitudes is nice because its counters have lifelink. I believe. The 1/1 lifelink soldiers.
Yes. And it can also be played at instant speed, something I'd always liked about March. I do feel like March is an underplayed card in the current meta.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's things like Chain Whirler. It's really easy to wipe the board right now. So unless you can go wide really, really fast, you're gonna be in trouble. And with all this Convoke, as soon as it's really hard for Selesnya to recover from a board wipe, since it really relies on a lot of that convoking potential.
You also have the potential for 12 board wipes in one deck. Cleansing Nova, Kaya's Wrath, and Time or Time Wipe. So we have March of the Multitudes here, by the way. Rogue Link, your card.
Yep. Clifford doubling his board here, which is always really nice.
And here comes Ajani. This is gonna get ridiculous really quickly on Clifford's side.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he taps 4 of his dudes to just get rid of that vampire. Or he might just be able to swing out, actually. Now that I just look at the numbers. Can't tell if Friday's going to have a response or not. Nope, cracking in with all of it, and that's just enough.
I was going to say Massacre Girl could have saved Friday there, but just not enough life there to recover. Clifford takes game 2.
Clifford considering Divine Visitation here. Nope, running it straight back.
I totally would run more Divine Visitation when you're going second. You know the match is going to go a little longer. Divine Visitation has potential to get Clifford right back in the game with a lifelink. Decent hand to start for Clifford. Also, how about that Woodland Champion choice? That's another really spicy card for this deck.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I don't think I've really gotten a good look at that card before, but it seems perfect for the sort of Selesnya token strategy that we've got going on here.
Absolutely. Although, I do feel like if I were to play something like Woodland Champion, that I'd rather have, I think it's called Shauna or something like that. The one that gains more power the more creatures you have on board.
Oh, yes. Yeah, though, I can't remember if it's an XX that's +1/+1 for every creature, or if it's a 1/1 that gets +X/+X.
Friday's hand looking really spicy as well. That Legion's End is suddenly looking really good, but Friday opting to go for Chupacabra instead. Can't say I blame her.
Yeah, I can see that, especially with the Massacre Girl, you're going to want to make sure that none of Clifford's creatures are able to run away and get out of that kill range.
Alright, so now Hanged Executioner's on board, although Clifford cannot use its ability yet because Clifford would need 4 mana to pay for that. Legion's End still looking like a good card right now, although... Do you wait for Clifford to put more things down and you just park Massacre Girl on the field?
That'd probably be my plan. Wait for a couple turns until Clifford has unloaded some form of payload.
Yeah,
we know that Friday's seen the March of the Multitudes. We know that Friday's seen a bunch of the Anthem effects and pump spells from things like Ajani. So you can't wait too long, but you also don't want to go too early.
All right, Friday, I believe Friday's going to go for Massacre Girl here. Great play. There you go. Just don't take any chances whatsoever.
And it's going to be more than enough to get rid of that champion, too.
Well, not only that, Clifford was about to roll into Trostani Discordant, March of the Multitudes. That was, again, just great timing there by Friday. Friday also has Fine Finality coming up too, which is also a great card for wiping the board. I would definitely be working towards those board wipes.
Yeah, and I think what's going to happen here is Clifford's going to get a fairly decent March of the Multitudes, probably at the end of next turn, but then Friday's going to be able to just counter with a Legion's End. And since Clifford's probably wants as many things for Convoke as possible here, definitely wasn't going to take that trade with the Massacre Girl.
I'm thinking Friday might actually Chupacabra for Trostani.
Yeah, that's also a pretty good play here. Then you don't have to worry about 2 kills minimum if there was another Massacre Girl or something like that. I'm sure Massacre Girl isn't a one-of in Friday's deck, considering how consistently she's managed to play it so far.
The other play Friday could do is also do Legion's End Paradise Druid, be guaranteed finality. Next turn, targeting Massacre Girl.
Oh, yep, and that Legion's End is going to be really good next turn.
Or you could just do finality here.
This is true. Yep, finality would also work really well here. Finality on the Massacre Girl.
But I do think you're right in this case, Roguelink, at least in the case of the current board state. Legion's End for the tokens, pretty good, I would think. I think better value there. Clifford, knowing he's going to gain some life, some massive life this turn. Let's see, so 7 tokens. That's 14 damage currently, plus Amara. I don't think that's going to be enough yet to wipe out Friday. Yep, Friday's still alive. This match is still live, Roguelink. I love especially dramatic back and forth matches like this.
And fortunately, Friday has a decent number of blockers once this Legion's End comes down. So
Yep.
it's not like the Amara is going to be a huge problem at 3 life.
And someone in chat also had brought up a really good point. Amara and Ajani actually do not get along with each other because Amara cannot tap when attacking due to the vigilance on it.
But it's okay because Johnny's not here anymore.
Johnny's not here.
Friday's
Yes,
just
you're-
trying to help out.
Friday is at 3 life turning this match around, and it is fantastic.
Ooh, and Clifford continues to be out of gas.
Friday going for the attack first, and why not? Do you play the Ceratops here? I want to say yes, over Finality. However, if you play Finality first, no, just going for Jade Light Ranger. Nothing wrong with the basics.
Yeah, I think I would.
Spawn of
I think
Mayhem's
I would go
tough.
with. Yeah, that's really good. I love Spawn. Spawn is such a fun card to play with.
The problem is that Friday is at 3 life right now, so Spawn of Mayhem would probably not be the best thing right now on the board.
That's true. But yeah, I think I would personally go Finality on the Massacre Girl, and then play the Ceratops, just to be extra sure that Clifford doesn't have anything to work with.
All right, I think Friday is just going to be very careful and just slowly whittle Clifford down. Great strategy here. I would probably not play the Spawn, but I wouldn't fault Friday for playing the Spawn.
Yeah, I think the Spawn is unnecessarily aggressive at this point.
But it looks like Friday's got this, though. From 3 life, Friday is going to come back with some good blocking, good board wipes, everything you ever want Golgari to do, which is wipe and repopulate the board. I love what Friday's done with this deck.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clifford's extra spicy plays after the big board wipes from Friday, he just wasn't able to recover after drawing a lot of lands.
Yeah, I swear, this shuffler sometimes. I wonder about it.
There we go.
There you go. GG to Friday. What a match. I really enjoyed that. First, middle, and last.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting back and forth there. I really like those kinds of matches where someone makes a really big play and then someone makes another really big play and they have that recover and constant back and forth.
You know what I noticed about that match that is very different from a lot of the matches I've seen in Standard? There was no blue. Which is kind of refreshing considering how much Esper we see in Standard right now.
That's true. I don't know much about Friday, but Clifford doesn't really strike me as a control player. I think Clifford generally has some Jeskai decks, but they're more aggressive, like Feather Jeskai. They're not your traditional blue control.
All right, it looks like we're going to have one more match.
Curious to see if Clifford is going to mix it up a little bit. Also not sure if, this is the first time we've seen Friday on the stream, so who knows if she's going to bring something completely different as well.
I'd like to see 2 different decks. I like the playstyle of both for sure.
Yeah, they were definitely 2 interesting decks. I'm not sure if either of those decks had a huge advantage over the other, so it was definitely an entertaining matchup, to be sure.
I do feel like Friday did have the edge in that match just due to the amount of board wipes. As you were saying before, Selesnya cannot handle board wipes. And the best thing about Friday's type of board wipes were they weren't even your standard, let's put in unbreakable formation or make a stand. You can't do that when you're getting negative across the board.
Right.
Roguelink, what have you been playing in standard right now?
So let me tell you about Boros Goblins.
Oh, really?
So, long story short, I've got Krenko, the Legion the 2/2 goblin that makes a goblin every turn, plus the 1/2 flyer that makes a goblin makes a soldier every time it attacks, and then lots of anthems.
Sounds good.
It's a pretty fun deck. And speaking of Clifford's Jeskai shenanigans, this is his Mardu variant.
I found
Legion
your
War
deck.
Boss. Thank you very much.
I found your deck, Roguelink.
Yeah, I do like this deck. I never got Precinct 1 or Feather to work. Like, I never took the time to really work it out. But yeah, I really like watching Clifford pilot this deck.
Oh wait, I think Clifford took the wrong... Wait, I'm confused. Are they resetting?
They might be... yes, they accidentally did best of 1.
Oh, that's a shame. I liked both hands. Dang it, now we're gonna get 2 mulligans to 5. It's always the way.
No. I guarantee you that Clifford will have at least 1 feather and at least 1 hero. And his opening hand. Nailed it!
Big sigh. Although Friday's hand's looking pretty awesome.
I am really liking Friday's hand. And honestly, I don't hate Clifford's hand either. Very aggressive, lots of haste.
Yeah, but look at the power in Friday's hand. I always enjoyed turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion. Always.
Yeah, Friday is going to have a really aggressive start.
I love it. I love it. Also, isn't it nice to see creatures on board, Roguelink?
I do love seeing some big creatures just slamming straight the other guy's face.
It's such a foreign concept lately in Standard to be running any kind of creature-based deck. So this is like a breath of fresh air here. I love it. Absolutely love this. But Friday's hand, though, I mean, I can't get over how great Friday's hand is.
Yeah, 2 Steel Leaf Champions, 2 Ceratops.
Yeah.
And Ramp.
Yes. Makes me want to go play Mono Green right after this. Which, by the way, did you know Vinemare is seeing Standard play right now, Roguelink? It is amazing.
That is pretty awesome.
I think it's taking the place of Nullhide Ferox right now to go with Vivian. It's a deck I've been seeing on the ladder lately, and I kind of like it.
Also, can we talk about how great Infuriate is?
Roguelink.
No, seriously, like, this is a block that Friday has to take.
Oh my gosh. This is going to be a 2-for-1. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing 2-for-1.
Well, actually, 2-for-2. Technically, Infuriate's a card. If Feather was on the field.
Right, technically it is 2-for-2.
But if Feather was on the field, it would have been a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Alright, here comes Shifting Ceratops. Give that Ceratops some haste. You go for it. This is a foot race, Roguelink. Good old-fashioned
dealt with the 2 Steel Leaves. Ooh. It might not be enough, though.
Aurelia's so good, though. I love Aurelia. Another underplayed, amazing card in Standard right now. Aurelia.
If Aurelia gave lifelink or had lifelink, I think Clifford would be back in this. But oh wow, Friday drew a Golta. So about that mono green.
About that mono green, indeed.
I'm not even sure what Friday has the blue in here for. Probably for some spicy flash.
Oh, no, 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 no. I know most certainly what's in here, Blue Eyes. If Friday's been watching my stream, I occasionally play Frilled Mystic. You play Frilled Mystic
yes,
to
that's
protect
a
from
good
board
call.
wipes. Yes.
Yep.
The only problem is it's a tough splash. I wish I could see what Friday declared tribe-wise for that land up there, but unfortunately with the way our screens are, I can't see what she picked for that.
Probably
Elf?
dinosaurs, but
I was gonna say Elf because you get Steel Leaf Champion and Frilled Mystic because we have that loving archetype of the Elf Lizard Wizard.
that's true. Lizard wizards are pretty great.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What's better, lizard wizard or bird wizard?
No, Lizard Wizard. Definitely Lizard Wizard. Oh, this match is awesome. Just all the awesome creatures right now on both sides. Ooh, Hydra. Oh, that's a good reason to splash blue, Rogue Link.
Yeah, Hydra. If you have ramp in your deck, Hydra is super good. Hydra is good if you don't have ramp in your deck.
Also, Nissa would be good in this deck to go with the Crisis.
Yeah, Friday just running in with that Ghalta. Not much Clifford can do here.
Oh, this is fun.
Man, this is some, like, heavy-hitting cowboy magic here. I cannot wait to see where this game 2 goes.
Oh yeah, these two decks clashing together, this is perfect. After playing on the standard ladder for so long, this is so refreshing to see, and I love this deck. I love both decks.
Ooh, the 4-drop Sorin in the
Sorin.
sideboard. I like
Sorin.
that.
Yes, you wanted Aurelia to have lifelink? There it is, right there.
Yeah, there's your lifelink for the long game. It's unfortunate that oh no, because he doesn't need to get vampires. It becomes a vampire. That's right. And Clifford does have a decent number of 1 and 2 drops to make pretty good use of that 4-drop Sorin too. Meep Elder Dinosaur coming through. There you go, chat.
Why not play Ghalta in a mono green deck? I mean, or almost green deck. I mean, technically this is Simic, but it's pretty close to mono green. Oh, look at this hand.
Oh, it's so tempting, but I don't know if you keep this.
I don't know if you keep this either. You know Friday is going to ramp very quickly, and I don't know if I would trust this hand. That turn 1 night, though, Rogue Link.
Yeah, if you had 2... Yeah, I think you keep this. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
If that first hand had 2 mana in it, that was a snap keep.
Yep, and I like the choice Clifford's making here, too. But look at Friday's hand again. Pelt Collector, Harpooner, Ceratops. Not bad. Not a bad start at all.
Yeah, that Harpooner definitely came in for the Aurelia. I guarantee it.
Harpooner's a great choice. There's a lot of deadly flyers in Standard right now.
Also, shoutouts to Judy. I haven't played a Judith deck in way too long. I need to make a new one with rotation.
Nah, of course you're gonna play Judy. I can't believe you haven't been playing it for a bit.
It's such a good. I actually haven't. Oh man, there's another one. The best thing about 2 Judys is you ping someone when Judy dies, and then you play another Judy. Yeah,
like
offering the 2-for-1 here.
I bet you go in with the Hero Precinct one. At least I would. I know that seems like bad value considering all the multicolored cards in hand, but if you get rid of a Llanowar that soon, I feel like that's worth it. You gotta take every damage you can against a deck with huge creatures.
It's true. And
Yep.
This kind of deck is really good at nickel and diming and making blocks awkward, but it's really hard to make those blocks awkward when your opponent has creatures with things like 4 toughness.
Well, and Dreadhorde Butcher is just a force to be reckoned with on its own.
Now let's see, oh no, you can't mortify because the thing is hexproof. Why does that thing have hexproof?
What has hexproof?
Oh wait, I thought the shield was hexproof.
No.
Oh, right.
Pro blue.
Pro blue, that's right.
The hexproof is the glowing circle.
Right. I got confused for a second there.
Arena symbols aren't the most easy to understand either. You know, some of them it's like, wait, what does this thing have? No, the shield means protection, though.
Yeah. I think my confusion was the like shield-ish emblem, which is hexproof, was there for longer, and protection was only recent, so that's probably where I got confused. Now I think you definitely play Judy here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Judy cracking with those soldiers.
When do you start swinging? Clifford says right now I start swinging.
This is where awkward block stock dot deck really comes online.
Clifford getting a lot of value out of this. Yeah, I mean, if you have to block, you have to go all in there, because otherwise they're just going to ping with Judy at that point. Looks like Friday wants to play Crisis here. Do you play the Harpooner, or do you wait a couple of turns? It's tough.
I think it depends on how much of a hate card you're playing Harpooner as in your deck. You know, Clifford's not playing any flyers right now. So I think Friday's going to hold on to it until she has a target.
You know what I'm surprised about in Clifford's deck so far? I have not seen that many kill spells. I mean, we've seen Mortified this turn, but that doesn't seem like much. Also, not going in with Judith. That's kind of surprising, considering Clifford has another Judith in hand.
Well, he is tapped out, so we probably want to get non-Judith creatures onto the board instead, and I can't really blame him for wanting to go wide here.
Friday land, just so many lands in Friday's possession right now.
And there we go. That's game 2 for Clifford.
So 2 very explosive hands. Not a lot of back and forth. Whoever gets ahead is seeming to win. There's no pull to this. So we'll see if game 3 does just that.
Looks like Clifford deciding to keep the deck as is. Maybe considering another Infuriate, but I'm not sure.
You really like Infuriate, don't you?
It's really... Honestly, if it didn't give 2 toughness, the 2 toughness is, like, the best part of it.
I got a card better than Infuriate, and it's called Collision Colossus. That's my beloved pump spell.
It is pretty good.
But for a 1-color pump, Infuriate's not bad, but it's no Collision Colossus. Alright, so yeah, I mean that seems pretty okay to start.
Yeah, I think you keep this. He has all 3 colors, which is good, has a 1-drop.
I know what Friday's playing. This is my old, it's similar, I should say, to my Simic Stompy build.
Oh,
see the Departed Deckhand?
Right.
Another very powerful card, by the way.
And there's your Lizard Wizard.
Yep, I knew that was in there too. I recognized the build as soon as I saw Friday's opening hand.
Now this is going to be really nice, because with the Infuriate, Clifford's going to be able to start pumping the Ebon Legion 1 turn sooner than he usually would, and a lot cheaper, too.
I don't think I do that here. I think I Infuriate the deckhand to destroy it, I believe. Yeah. You Infuriate Departed Deckhand.
I think it depends on the blocks here.
Yeah, now you use it. Oh!
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know about that. Dang.
I like Infuriate. I know the lines.
If Clifford lets that deckhand live for too long, it's gonna be trouble.
That's true. I think maybe it's because Clifford's not super worried about it. Like, he has several ways to just deal with it in hand.
Yeah, Friday's swinging here. Why not at this point? Oh, Clifford's going for it. The integrity on Departed Deckhand. That'll do it.
There you go.
Clifford had a plan. And now I think you just ride it with the Ebon Legion. You just, with heroic reinforcements coming in next turn, you swing, you pump, you wait.
Yeah, Ebon Legion, I find it's usually a pretty aggressive play, but if you can get a counter on Ebon Legion 2, you get really ahead of that game.
Now, do you hold Frilled Mystic here?
Um,
No, looks like Friday's going. But I could understand the case to not do because they're just going to keep pumping and.
Yeah, the problem is you can't really block Ebon Legion because of the Death Touch.
Mm-hmm. Ebon Legion's actually going to be bigger than Ceratops here, which is a frightening thing to consider, but true. You could also play. Yep. You can play Mortify here. Although Clifford could have played the second Knight of the Ebon Legion had the taps been a little different.
Yeah, I think I probably would have played the land first and gotten the second Ebon Legion, though it wasn't too bad because Clifford wasn't dealing 4 damage this turn.
Ooh, Tajik. All right, here comes Frilled Mystic.
Yep, that's a good place for it too.
Now, do you just take the 3 here and try to build up to Galta? Nah, Friday says no. Understandable. Steel Leaf Champion. But Friday says, nah, I'm gonna just counter whatever you throw at me.
Yep, that makes sense.
But Clifford still can play the other Knight of the Ebon Legion this turn.
Yeah, Clifford has a lot of redundancy in hand right now, which is really nice for getting back in the game.
Not a terrible draw here, but this is getting a little scary because unfortunately the downfall playing Galta is sometimes it's just going to sit in your hand and not do anything.
Fortunately, next turn, Friday will have 6 mana to still play Galta. So as long as nothing dies here, it'll be fine. Unfortunately, Clifford has an Infuriate. Man, this is just like, I'm going to sell you on Infuriate.game, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah,
and there we go!
Friday didn't have that many good draws in the second game, and having 2 Galtas in hand is rough, but a good series nonetheless for both players.
Yeah, a lot of crazy back and forth. It seemed like Friday was drawing a lot of land, that second one, but so close to getting those Galtas down, you know?
Yeah, Galta, here's the thing. When you're facing off against a Mardu deck, it's so tempting to side out Galta because you know it's going to die very easily to spells such as Mortify.
Yeah, I think it depends on how quickly you can get in your things like Steel Leaf Champion. Like something in a Steel Leaf Champion into Galta. Very good.
I wonder if Friday's deck ran Nullhide Ferox at all, because I feel like that would have been a really good candidate for that match. Remember, a deck's fine and dandy, although you won't see all of your cards. So Friday could have very well been running Nullhide Ferox, and we just would have never seen it.
That's true. There's a lot of things that Friday could have been running there. Simic has a lot of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
With the Lizard Wizards, with the giant Hydras, with the big Galta. I imagine the sideboard's especially flexible too.
Oh, absolutely. All right, I think that is going to do it for us this week. Roguelink, do you have any closing thoughts about the recent changes being made in Magic, or any of the matches we saw tonight, or anything, any general trends in Standard in general right now?
Put your money on Infuriate, apparently.
That is very much you, okay? That is... I don't know if I can top that. That's very on brand for Roguelink, okay? That's quite on brand for Roguelink. So I think right now the decks that are going to do well in Standard are going to be ones that follow very close to the meta, except if you put slightly your own twist on it to throw people off guard. Sometimes those couple of choices that you make in that deck can make a huge difference. For instance, if you're running Gen Dinosaurs, Thud is a very good card in any kind of matchup where you have huge creatures there. Or,
Yeah,
in the case of what Roguelink likes to do, Dreadhorde Butcher plus Thud is really interesting to consider.
Yeah, rogue decks, it's very important to not underestimate rogue decks, because if you're just close enough to the meta to have counters, but you have cards that people aren't expecting, those can go way further than you might expect.
It's like Friday's Golgari deck, for instance. I feel like that deck should be performing very well in the ladder right now, considering not a lot of people are playing those colors, and there's so many good cards in those colors right now.
Right, and playing vampires, while a very strong deck, could either be a death sentence because everyone's gunning for vampires, or just work super well because it's one of the stronger creature decks in the format.
Yeah, exactly. It looked really good Friday, absolutely. And again, I want to thank both Clifford and Friday for participating. This was Friday's first week, so that was really exciting. Both those matches were very fun to watch. Appreciated both decks and their styles behind it. And again, these are nice, refreshing decks that you normally don't see every day on the ladder. So it was good to see that type of play, knowing that, yes, the meta is kind of in an awkward place, but if you think that it's in a kind of awkward and you're either going to play Esper or Red kind of place, wait till rotation. I know Roguelink wants to be in the Wild West. Start thinking about what kind of decks do you think will flourish in the Wild West. And since Control has so much power right now, do you think Wizards is going to print a lot of anti-control cards in Throne? Something to think about for next time. Remember, rotation is coming up. Throne will be releasing in early October. So if you are tired of the current standard right now, and I can't say I blame you if you are tired of the current standard, just wait. This whole world's about to be turned upside down with not only Throne, but rotation. That means we will be losing M19, Ixalan Block, Dominaria. It's going to be very noticeable.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for us then on Wednesday Night Magic. Please drop a follow. Thank you again to the Speed Gaming crew for having us. Thanks again to my fellow co-commentator Roguelink. And thanks again to everyone who's played. If you do have our Discord, please feel free to access that, interact with the community. And if you do want to play, please drop us a message at some point.
Have a good one, everybody.
Take care, everybody.